I have a really sweet little practice, but we will do some standing poses, and they're good ones. It's going to be a nice, strong class, but also I want you always to honor wherever you are today, wherever you're at. But we'll also, it's going to be a combination, our stretch and strength, okay? So we have that nice combination of both. You can just kind of stretch out and get that blanket, and then if you would like, lay your hands on your belly, or you may lay one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. And just allow the legs to drop open. Just let the feet and the knees roll open and relax the legs. You know, if the back is really arching, then bring your feet up and just kind of roll a little bit down through that mid back so the back starts to connect a little bit, and then straighten out the legs. But let the shoulder blades soften. And I'd like you to close your eyes. And breathe in through the nose and start to feel your breath coming in through the nostrils and into the belly. So just taking one more breath. Let's go ahead and hug your knees into your chest. Just one knee at a time, and just embrace yourself. So give yourself a nice little hug and stretch that low back. Tuck the chin in. And now gently just massage the low back by rocking side to side, hip to hip, rolling through that sacrum. It's like you would be rocking a baby to sleep, just gently side to side. And take a nice smooth breath in through the nose. And now you're going to come back to center. And now we'll take our arms into a T. Palms, let's rotate the palms up. So the palms up in yoga is a gesture of receiving. So are an offering. So palms are up, shoulder blades are grounded, and then we're just going to keep the knees and feet together, and let's just do a nice little drop of the knees side to side. So I'm actually rolling out to the edge of my hip, keeping the opposite shoulder blade down, and just kind of moving and swaying again side to side. Good, this feels good. But we're getting this awesome work in our obliques. I love that part too. And this beautiful stretch, opening the heart and opening the chest. And we'll do a few nice little heart opening poses. And now we'll pause, bring the knees to center. Let's go ahead and roll the knees all the way and drop into a nice twist. Now bring the opposite shoulder down. And take a few rounds of breath, just relaxing, softening the body. With each exhalation, give yourself permission to relax. Relax those areas that get kind of tight. And maybe unconscious holding. Sometimes we're not aware. So let go of your fingers. Soften and release the jaw. And just take one more full breath. And now take one knee at a time back up. Come back to the center and roll both knees over to the opposite side. Reach your arm out, stretching through that shoulder. Palm is up. And maybe turn the head away from the bent knees, relaxing the knees to the floor. And breathing into the mid-back and into this twist. And notice the breath moving through the body, relaxing your knees, your hips. And just taking one more full breath. Now you're going to slowly draw one knee at a time. And so I'm going to give you a choice here. You can grab the back of the legs and do a little rock and roll up. Now if you have you're on a tile floor or something, I would say not do it, but roll to your side and push up. Otherwise, you can kind of kick the heels and kick all the way up. Come into a tabletop position. Use your blanket for your knees. And we'll come into a table where we're stacking the joints. So you want to stack shoulders over wrist and hips over knees. I want you to spread your fingers really wide like a starfish and actually draw a little more of the weight of your upper body into the thumb and the index finger. Now we're going to do a little circle with the body. So you're going to bring the body slightly forward. You're going to move to one side. You're going to push back and to the other side and forward. So you're drawing this circle. And you're rotating in both the shoulder and the hip joints, which is always good, lubricating those joints. And you want to take a deep breath in and slow exhale out. And just kind of get a little groove going here. Go with the flow, right? Moving the body with the breath. And we'll do one more. You're going to pause, coming forward, and then go to the opposite direction, back and side and forward. You can soften the elbows a little bit. You can become a little more of a prowling cat if you want to bend the elbows and kind of move in that way. Good, and then one more time and hold. So you're going to curl your toes under and you're just going to walk your hands back. And so we're going to sit up in hero's pose. Bring the hands to the heart and thumbs to the chest and just lift up. I know the toe stretch is tough. So do the best you can. Just take another full breath. And then come down. Let's uncurl the toes. Come into a little bit of a child's pose. So we're going to set up, we're preparing for another stretch, another chest opener. But first we'll do this forward fold. So bring the forehead down. And I'd like you to breathe in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Really let go of any tension. This is your moment. This is your time to, just let it all out. So inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And just one more time. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Now we're going to come up and we're going to do what's called scorpion's tail. So you lift your chest up. I'm keeping my big toes touching and I'm going to drop my hips, lift my chest, and my heels come up towards my buttocks. And then you rock back, push back to child's pose. Take an inhale, come to table. Your arms are straight. You're going to drop your hips, toes come up, chest is lifting, and then we rock back to our scorpion. Good job. Just a couple more times. Take an inhale, coming up. Good. Hips drop down. Belly is strong. Lift your heart. Open the heart. And then push back into our child's pose. And last time, take an inhale, come up. Exhale, drop your hip. And lift your heart. Very good. And now bring your hands back. And we'll come into the down dog. So push through the hands, lift the hips up, and just drop the crown of your head towards the floor. And just kind of move a little bit in the hips if you want. Pushing those sit bones back and up. Keep the belly firm, supporting your low back. And we're pushing through those hands. Now you want your middle finger in line with your wrist, your elbow, and your shoulder. So the middle finger of your hand should be even with the wrist, the elbow, and the shoulder. And just take another full breath. Bend your knees. And now we'll slowly walk our hands and our feet together to the forward fold. But I'm going to soften my knees a lot. Shake my head no. And then shake my head yes. Now you're going to lift halfway up. You can keep the knees bent, but let's take our hands to the hip crease. So the hands are to the hip crease, your back is flat and your neck is long. You're going to pull the belly in and you're going to lift with the crown of your head and come all the way up. Let's get rid of your blanket and stand to the center of the mat. Now what we'll do is we're going to do some really lovely stretches here for the upper body. And let's first just by bringing our hands back to the heart and thumbs to the chest. And let's come back to our intention of, loving ourselves and loving others. And sometimes it's sometimes easier to love others than it is to love and take care of ourselves. So take another full breath. Release your hands down. Now we'll take a nice little stretch. You're going to take and wrap your thumb and your index finger around your right wrist. Let's reach the arms up. And you stretch the arms up, but we're going to come into a really nice little side stretch. So you're going to reach that arm up and over, and we're opening up through that right rib cage. And just take one more breath. Good, come all the way up. Now take your arms down. Let's take your right thumb and index finger, wrap it around the left wrist. Reach those arms up. I'm having a really hard time talking today. So reach up. And let's stretch over to the right, opening up that rib cage, that left rib cage. You can relax your head and neck. You can even rest your head on your upper arm and take a couple of breaths here. And now slowly come up. Now releasing your hands down, just like we did, we're going to take our thumb and index. I'm turning behind. You're going to grab your wrist and you're going to pull the wrist down. And so that is my right arm. I'm pulling down. And so that right shoulder is going to come down and I'm going to drop my left ear to my left shoulder. Very good. Just take about 3 full breaths. We just want to get a little more stretch into that neck. Good. One more full breath and then bring the chin back to the center. Now you're going to take that right thumb and index finger, wrap it around your left wrist, draw that shoulder down. So you're pulling the left shoulder down and then bringing your right ear to the right shoulder. And this one is actually a little harder for me to do. And you may have one side that might be a little bit tighter, but it's okay. We're going to work on that together. So come into your breath. And feel the rise and fall of the belly. And just stretching through the side of the neck and shoulder. One more inhale. And as you exhale, go ahead and release that. Now take both arms, wrap it around the top of your head. Maybe, holding onto the wrist is fine, like you're grabbing the wrist or the forearm, or maybe you're touching your elbows. What I want you to do is bring the chin slightly up, and the feet can be as wide as the hips, or maybe a little bit wider. You're going to draw the belly in and lengthen up through the crown of your head. Take an inhale. As you exhale, just kind of lean over to the right. Come back to center and go ahead and sway over to the left. Good, and back to center. Stand tall and just sway over to the right. Take your time. Inhale to center and then sway over to the left. Good, and back to center one more time. Go ahead and sway over to the right. And back to center. And let's go ahead and sway over to the left. Very good. Come all the way back to center. Release your hands down by your hips. And go ahead and walk to the very top of the mat. And so from here, we'll come back to our thumbs. You're taking your thumbs to your heart. And you're grounding through the feet as you lift the crown of your head and your chest. And then come into a back bend. Take another full breath. And now hinge from your hips and dive your fingertips down towards the floor. And if you would like, you can again shake your head no and shake your head yes. Now inhale, come to a half lift, so halfway up. And then forward fold, but bend your knees into the forward fold. Inhale, circle your arms up. Reach up towards the sky and bring your hands to namaste. Thumbs to the chest. Inhale into a back bend first, opening the heart. Exhale, dive the fingertips down to the floor, forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. Good, bend the knees into the forward fold. Bring your arms up. Circle all the way up to the ceiling and bring your hands to your heart center. And last time, thumbs to the heart. Inhale to the back bend. Then dive your fingertips down towards the floor, forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. Then forward fold again. Bring your arms out like wings and reach up towards the ceiling. Now you're reaching up towards the ceiling. And we're going to drop down into chair pose. Your knees can be together, your feet together, but I'm sitting back. And then I'm going to bring my arms forward, but I'm going to rotate my palms up. Remember, that's a gesture of receiving. Then I'm going to sweep my arms back, open my heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Then sweep the arms back. The palms are facing forward. Inhale, reach the arms up. And then sweep the arms back, open the chest, shoulder blades come together, and then bring the arms forward. Pause there, bring the arms down, and come into a nice vertical reach. So I'm reaching the arm back. And it's probably good to face me with that arm reach. So open the chest, and we're going to do a little forward fold. So bring the back hand onto your hip. Reach the opposite arm up. And you're going to straighten the legs, hinge from the hip crease, and bring that hand down to the floor. Now we're going to reach the arm up, and now we're in like a nice little forward fold. Reaching the arm up, taking a couple of breaths. One more inhale. As you exhale, release the hand down, bend your knees, bring your arms out like wings, circle up. Come back into your strong chair pose. And now come into that vertical reach of your arm. So knees and feet are together, you're squatting, right? You're dropping the hips back. Then you're going to hold here, soften the shoulders. Take another inhale, and as you exhale, bring the hand behind your back, so supporting your back, and then take this arm up. So we're still in chair pose, but now we're going to straighten the legs, hinge from your hips, forward fold, bringing the hand down to the floor. And you're going to reach the opposite arm up. So we're in a little twist. Take a few more rounds of breath. One more inhale, bend the knees, come into that forward fold. Circle the arms back and up, all the way up, and hands to your heart. Very good. So we're coming to our standing postures. So we're going to inhale, circle the arms up. And as you exhale, come into that swan dive, that forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. And as you forward fold, let's step your left foot back. Now get your right knee over the ankle. And we're going to come into crescent. So spread the toes, push off of that front foot, and come up. So you're going to draw the belly in, be really strong in your legs. If you're feeling wobbly tonight, then ground the back foot. And we're going to reach the arms up. So our crescent lunge. Take a few rounds of breath. And now bring the hand to the heart. We're going to come into a stork or Eka Pada Konasana. You're going to slide the foot up and come into your stork. I shouldn't have little bumps in my mat, so be careful out there. That wasn't too cool. So from our stork, you can have the arms out, but sometimes it feels a little more centered or pulling into the center with your hands to your heart. Just take another full breath. This is our balancing. Take that leg back and step back into your crescent lunge. Good job. That was a challenge for me, so I hope you're all doing well out there. Reach your arms up. Take an inhale as you exhale. Let's rotate out into Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana 2. Good. Pull the belly in, soften your shoulders, take your gaze out. And you're reaching out from the center of your heart, so you're opening through the chest. Take another full breath. Let's rotate that it's going to be your left here. Left palm up. And you're going to come into a reverse warrior. So this hand is sliding down. Again, those side bends help us open up through that rib cage. Take one more full breath. And then you're going to float the arms back up. Come into extended side angle pose. Now start to float your arms back to center and straighten out that front leg. So reverse triangle. Rotate that palm up. Let the back hand slide down. Ground your feet and stay really strong in your legs. Take another full breath. And now we cartwheel the hands down. This is where you're going to pivot the back heel up, slide that foot back, plank, and then you're going to chaturanga down. Inhale to your up dog. And now exhale, push back into your downward facing dog. Take about 3 more breaths. Send your right leg up towards the sky. And draw your right foot forward and your left. Come into that forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. Draw the arms out to the side like wings. Circle up. Big deep breath as you come up. And hands to namaste. So let's go to the other side. Inhale, circle the arms up. As you exhale, swan dive to that forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. Go ahead and forward fold, but let's step the right foot back and ground the toes into the floor. Get the knee, that left knee over your ankle. And now you're going to push up into your crescent lunge. Keep the abdominals strong. Bring your hands to your heart. Now this is where we're going to kind of take this back leg, bring it forward. Did better this time. See, we learn, and then we pick the knee up, coming into our stork pose. Just taking one more full breath. Let's send this bent knee and step the foot back. Very good. Staying here back into our crescent lunge or warrior one. And you're going to reach the arms up. Take another full breath. Start to move into Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. So this back foot is grounded. You're bending the knee, sinking into your legs, and you're reaching your arms out from that heart center. Rotate. Let's rotate both palms up, that gesture of receiving. And take another full breath. Reverse warrior. And feel the strength of your legs. Take another inhale. And as you exhale, float your arms back up, but move into extended side angle pose. Just one more full breath. Bring your arms back. At the same time, straighten that front leg. Rotate the left palm up and come into your reverse triangle. Very good. Bend the knee, floating back to warrior 2, but we're going to cartwheel the hands down. Palms to the mat. Pivot the back heel up. Slide that front foot back. Then chaturanga down. Inhale to your up dog. Exhale to your downward facing dog. Good. Taking 3 more breaths. Now you're going to send your left leg up towards the sky. And bring your left foot forward and your right. Good. Forward fold. Draw the arms out like wings. Circle up. And bringing your hands to your heart center. You're going to inhale up. As you exhale, come into your swan dive. Inhale, half lift. And as you exhale, step both feet back and to your down dog. Very good. Take another full breath. And now go ahead and come onto your toes and bend your knees. Good job. We're going to push back into your child's pose. Just take a little break for your wrist and your shoulders. Nice job. Then we're going to come all the way back up and now come into a seated position. So come all the way down. Good work, you guys. So let's start out by rolling onto the back, and we'll do a little bridging, and you're going to roll down. And let's walk your heels in towards your sit bones and come into bound angle pose, Baddha Konasana. Resting both hands onto the belly and softening through the low back. Excuse me. And taking those big, deep belly breaths, start to soften through the inner thighs, relaxing the hips, the low back. letting go of any holding in the arms. Just getting lots of oxygen into the body, nourishing the body with your breath. And in here in this pose, we fire the judge, but we hire our witness. And so we witness our body here without judgment. But to come into love and respect for ourselves. And then you're going to draw your knees up, and we're going to roll over towards the screen, and then use your hand to push up. And we come into an easy cross-legged position. And let's bring our hands on our knees. And take your thumb to the middle finger. So you're just touching the tip of the middle finger to the thumb. And this is for patience. No matter how much we travel through this life, we are always learning. We're always growing. And we learn that patience with ourselves and others. And so lift your heart and send out that love. Bring your hands to Namaste and bow your chin, honoring yourself and your practice. The light in me salutes that light in you, and together we say, Namaste. Thanks you guys so much. I'm so honored and so blessed to have you here